division running?
Until we can clean up the mess it's made. They want me to run it. I'm not gonna do it without you. All those people.
That was us once. They're not there by choice. They deserve a chance, and you know we can give that to them. Legally, division doesn't exist. That's gonna change today. You are not invisible. You exist. And if they want to get to you, they're gonna have to go through me first. Do you remember what I said when I decided I was gonna let you infiltrate division?
Here we go.
Here we go again.
I'm Laura Prudhomme from the Huffington Post, and I'm a Nikita-holic. I can't think of many shows that were as creatively consistent as Nikita was in its second season, so it's reassuring to know that the CW saw what we all see and renewed it for a well-deserved third season. So without further ado, let's bring out the amazing people who make this kick-ass show possible. Starting with the villainess we all love to hate, or do we just love her? She has kick-ass style, and for the first time on the Comic-Con stage, please welcome the fabulous Melinda Clark. He's the mysterious Shadow Walker and the high-tech brains behind Nikita's missions, but we know him best as Nerd. Please give it up for Aaron Stanford. As Alex, our next panelist has played a prostitute, a drug addict, a rogue recruit, and the heiress to $1 billion fortune. But it's her role as Nikita's partner that we love the most. Give a warm welcome to Lindsay Fonseca. We met him as the steely head of operations at Division, but it was only a matter of time before Nikita lured him over to the right side. One half of Nikita and a super spy in his own right. Say hello to Shane West. What's going on over there?
Hi.
Our titular heroine and the most kick-ass woman on TV, please welcome Maggie Q.
I love you too so much. It hurts.
And last but not least, the man who made all of this possible. Please give a round of applause for executive producer Craig Silverstein. Let's start off with a little bit of spoilery gossip. The big news this week was that Devon Sawa has been officially made a regular for season 3. Are we excited? Craig, can you talk a little bit about what Owen will be up to in season 3?
Owen is going to come back in the 4th episode, and we're going to answer the question, where the hell was Owen? Why didn't he participate in the raid on Division? Does he still think there's some Guardians alive and he's chasing them in Europe? Yeah, so he's going to come back, and he comes back with a mystery, he comes back with an agenda, all the good Owen stuff.
Very nice. And I believe you have another little piece of casting scoop for fans of Alcatraz.
Oh, yeah. The bad guy in our first episode in the premiere back is going to be played by Jeff Pierce, who is Alcatraz.
They know.
He's a badass.
So you also have Noah Bean joining the cast as a regular
Yes.
next season. Do we like that? Do we like Ryan Fletcher?
Ryan.
Maggie, can you maybe give us a little bit of intel on we can expect from Ryan next season and kind of how they're,
Yes, I'll speak for Ryan.
how their dynamic will be with Nikita and Ryan?
Yes. Craig does a lot of smart things, but one of the smartest things I think they did in terms of the takeover was putting Ryan Fletcher in charge. I think Nikita sitting behind a desk all day would have been less interesting for you guys. So as partners, they can really, there's a dynamic. You've got the more administrative sort of Ryan, who is trying to do things right, trying to right wrongs in the right way, within parameters, and he follows rules, and there are ways to do things and there are ways not to do things. And as you know, Nikita has a huge problem with authority. And so we open with Nikita, she's got a boss now, really. And Ryan, essentially, they work together, but really he's the person who reports back. So she's got to make, this is not sexual, Ryan happy. Stop. So, that's going to cause a little bit of, they're friends, which is nice, but at the same time, he's got a job to do, and so does she, and you know how they're two characters with strong convictions, so we'll see what happens there.
And Shane, Michael was a little bit dubious about taking on the responsibility of division again at the end of last season after everything that he and Nikita have been through. So where does the season opener find him?
Yeah, so I just have to do what she says, basically. I think we were all a little dubious about, but we had to make certain decisions, and I think that Michael and Nikita were more, at least, comfortable with each other towards the end of season 2 in their relationship. That even though they may have had different opinions on how this was going to happen back in Division, it's a good way to start off, at least for them, for them too. And you'll see that right off the bat in the next season, and I think the fans will like that. I think it's now just this one big, slightly happy, dysfunctional family that has to get along in running Division again. And you have, obviously, Ryan is kind of the boss, and I feel like we're all the muscle at this point. And no one's going to agree about anything, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
And I'm assuming there's going to be a little bit of a time jump between the end of last season and the beginning of this season.
Right.
About a month.
It's a month?
So not
Yeah.
too much, kind of throwing us
Not too
right
much.
back into it.
Yeah. It'll be their first mission back when you see them. They had a month off. Like us. Like less.
Yeah,
we
we
had
have
less.
a month off.
Lindsay, Alex hasn't had much luck in the romance department for the past couple of seasons, but like...
Yeah, I think there's a few guys in here who wouldn't mind.
But
Poor
Sean,
Alex. Poor Alex.
But Sean actually survived the finale, which I was kind of worried about for a second there. I thought that he was...
Well, he looks really good naked.
He does.
I mean,
That's basically why you're keeping him around. Yeah.
well, finally, Alex finally has a little bit of a romance. And I don't know, Craig. We think, what's going to happen with that? I think it's going to be good for a bit, and then,
Like all things.
Yeah.
like all things, they fall apart. I'm not sure. But yes, Alex is happy with Sean.
Do they actually get a first date, like a proper out in the real world?
I do hope so, too. As normal as those two can. I mean,
Yeah.
Normal first date.
There is that.
with their guns hiding under the table, I'm not quite sure.
Don't talk about the sex slavery at the first date, is always.
Yeah.
Yes, the sex slavery is not a good first date topic.
Awkward, yes. Aaron
Aaron knows.
Burkhoff,
I don't know what that means.
Burkhoff has also been he's had, his own problems with finding romance, being stuck behind a computer, but he actually laid one on Sonia at the end of the finale.
We did. Yes, Burkhoff did have a kiss, and it's very nice of you to say that he's had trouble getting a girl because of him being stuck behind a computer. I think,
That's the only reason. Yes.
I think, he's his own worst enemy when it comes to social situations in general. But yeah, he was kind of a kissing bandit in the last couple of episodes.
He
there.
aimed high. He aimed
Snuck
high.
a couple off of multiple ladies.
Aaron smells like a little baby. You know when you kiss a baby and you're like, yummy? That's what Aaron smells like.
I don't think I like that. That's not a compliment.
You know? Whereas like Shane's like scruffy and manly and like Aaron's like a little baby. I didn't mean that.
I have a full beard.
No.
I have a full beard. So
I'm smelly, so it's all
maybe
good.
it's,
You
maybe
smell
it's
like
baby
baby
softs.
powder.
Maybe it's. Thank
Yes.
you, somebody. I love you.
I'm sorry, that came out wrong. You're all man, Aaron.
Yeah, don't let her infantilize me. I'm a man. I take what's mine, and as Burkhoff, he took what was his in the last episode when he dipped Sonia. I'll get to it. And
Tone it down, ladies. Tone it down.
so he's doing well by Burkhoff standards, and what's going to happen is after the break, maybe there might be a little bit of new tension between Burkhoff and Sonia that wasn't there before. Maybe not in a good way. Maybe there's going to be a little.
I was going to say, they have quite a similar skill set, so it's kind of which one is the boss, which
Exactly.
one's...
That might create a little bit of tension there.
Sonia,
Now,
probably.
they're in a work environment, so bound to create problems.
That's fair. And Melinda, first time on the Comic-Con stage. Wearing fabulous shoes that I don't think you can see, but they are fabulous.
She'll show them to you.
Yeah. Well, Amanda was AWOL for the last few episodes. She kind of came back with a bit of a bang, killing people as she does. But can you talk a little bit about where we'll find her at the beginning of next season?
Well, I should assume that she's in exile and in hiding, and ultimately, I think she's in a similar way. She's in the same position that Nikita was in the first season, where she was all alone, and she may have one singular obsession right now, which is going after Nikita.
She's very in demand, that Nikita.
It's on.
Although I do think that, just going back to this Burkhoff-Sonia thing, how do you know I haven't taught Sonia some of those torture skills? Could that be the tension he's talking about?
She does seem the type.
Just said that.
Sonia. Yeah.
That actually is a very nice segue, because I was going to talk about one of my favorite episodes last season, which was Fair Trade, which had the very memorable torture scene. Can you talk a little bit, both of you, about the experience of filming that and kind of memorable moments that might have arisen?
The barrel of laughs.
A barrel of laughs. It was, I do like that. On one hand, I'm shouting at Sean, like scolding him like he's my son, and then somehow Amanda just gets really excited, hikes up her skirt, crawls all over Burkhoff, and it's apparently something she really enjoys.
Yeah.
A little too much, yeah, it seemed.
It was fun, wasn't it?
I had a great time doing it. Not just because you hiked up your skirt and climbed on top of me. It was fun for many reasons. No, we had a great time shooting it. We talked a lot about it, about the dynamic between the two of them, and yeah, also that aspect of that this is sex for Amanda. This is how she gets off.
Yeah.
She needs to hurt somebody. Needs the violence.
Talk about peeling away the layers.
Yeah, and who better to hurt than Burkhoff? So everybody's favorite punching bag. So it was. I'm just kidding. I love it, baby. Hurt me. I love it. I can take it. I had a great time. You know, I got to get out from behind the computer and out into the field. So that's always a welcome respite for me. And you know, we just had tons of fun doing it. And I screamed my head off, and she broke my hand with a hammer. It was great.
Yeah, thank you.
Lindsay, can you talk a little bit about where we'll find your character internally in terms of season 3? I mean, she didn't get the chance to kill Samak because Ari kind of took that chance from her, but do you feel like that's a better thing, that she dodged the bullet of having to kill for revenge rather than, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. I think Alex has killed for revenge before, like with Vlad and other characters. But I think that Alex is going to go through a lot of transitional. This season's going to start off very confusing for her because she doesn't have doesn't have anything to hide from. She is Alexandra Udinoff, out in the open, a very public figure with a lot of money, and there's nowhere to hide. So she's got to own it, and I'm not really sure how she's going to be able to handle it. Craig might be able to continue on from there, but I think that's a little bit different from the rest of the gang because she's such in the public eye. So I don't know. It's really exciting. It's like a new little part of Alex that we get to experience and how she's going to handle that.
Craig, anything to add to that?
Yeah, I was going to say, it's like something we found that was interesting. Like, she can't just go undercover. She's sort of featured in People magazine at some point, so people kind of know. They don't know she's a super spy, but they know her as this kind of scandalous heiress, so. She's
like the new Tomcat in the Nikita world.
It's a little, yeah.
Whoa. No, we'd like to avoid that.
Yeah.
All right. Shane, I think we've talked before about kind of your wish list and what you'd like to see from Michael, but I know that you mentioned wanting to see Roy Dubois to come back, like kind of tie in.
Roy, who was Michael in the first series, who I always liked his work. You bringing that up was a thought of mine. If they ever decided to do someone who possibly trained Michael when he joined Division, I thought that would be kind of a cool concept to have that, be attached as the Michael training Michael, because clearly it wasn't Percy. So, that would be kind of something fun. But I think for this year, in season 1, he was a lot darker, and he had a lot more reasons to be happy in season 2. And so with this one, I think we're going to see a little bit of both, and you're going to have the light Michael and the dark Michael, and really can't hint at it any more than that. But I think people are going to be pleasantly surprised or maybe shocked by what might happen to Michael this year.
Yeah. Well, Craig, I know that La Femme Nikita fans were very thrilled to see Alberta Watson last season, utilized wonderfully. Yes, anyone? Are you kind of actively trying to maintain those links with the old series and films, or do you just kind of want to stand on your own at this point?
It's something that we don't look to push for. If an opportunity comes up, then we go after it,
Yeah.
But it's nothing that we search for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you guys, but I thought Wrath was one of the best hours of television I've ever seen. Maybe. Yes? No? So Maggie, can you talk a little bit about playing Nikita's dark side and the challenges that came with that episode?
Well, I got this script, and one of the writer who wrote it, Albert Kim, who's awesome. The thing I love about Albert's writing is that, you sort of never have to find the heart of the episode. It's always there, He's a man with a huge heart, and in his writing, I'm never confused about how people are going to be affected emotionally by his episodes, which is great. He said to me when he wrote that script that he went into a weird place. He said to me, he goes, Maggie, I know this sounds a little bit pretentious, but I was like in pain writing this script. And I thought, because you hear actors say that a lot, when they go deep into something, you hear actors say, I kind of lost myself. And Albert said, as a writer, I lost myself in the room. I felt there was this dark sort of thing that kind of just came over me, and it didn't feel good. It felt really crappy. And then I read it, and he was my first call. I read it and I called Albert and I said, I really, really need you to be my friend during this episode because I can't do this without you. Because I don't know that when I go there, it's going to be a safe place for me and it's just going to feel weird and I need someone. He was like, I'm there for you 1,000%. And that's the relationship that we have with the writers on this show, which is so beautiful and you can't create. You know, it's either there or it isn't. So Albert, he really held my hand through that, and it was a really, really, really tough thing to face, but we got through it, and thank you for saying that. That's really generous and kind of you. Thank you.
Yeah. A few of you have kind of mentioned the logistical nightmares of filming the Team Nikita scenes, where there are big groups of you just in terms of coverage and that kind of thing. So is that going to be something that you're actively pulling back on next season, or are you trying to balance just because? I feel like the fans like seeing you all together.
I think so, yeah.
The Central Perk scenes?
Yes.
The Super Friends.
Yeah.
Super friends.
Super Friends.
Well, they've
friends.
redone Division a bit. The set's a little bit different. There's a new briefing room, and we'll see, how that goes. We're going to try to, not have 10 people in a scene. Yeah, that'd be good. We'll try to avoid it.
Yeah. And we know that the overarching theme of season 2 was supposed to be home. So can you talk a little bit about the theme or the idea behind season 3?
I think the theme would be family, because they've got this home now, a home she didn't expect to find. And she's Nikita's a lone wolf, and she's built this family up around her that she didn't really intend to. But now here they are, and they're all sort of in this place, and it's sort of watching them come together and then sort of get fractured.
Very nice. And Maggie and Shane, we know that the fans adore Michael and Nikita's relationship. Yes? And it was pretty tough going for a while there in season 2. So where will they be emotionally in season 3? Can you tease anything?
Well, we're going to start off in a good place.
Hot and heavy.
Yeah. Shower scenes, the whole thing. I know. Everybody keeps. Where did the shower scene thing come from?
The shower scene.
That was a joke, right?
No, it's not a joke.
Oh, shit.
It's like there's a request for a shower scene, and we're going to honor. I want to say, we're trying to figure it out. It's really hard to produce a shower. That's sort of the thing. Like if we build it on set,
back to the gym.
then it's. You guys are.
Are you? Shut up! No.
I'm serious.
What do you mean produce a shower?
We have to make. You have to flood the set. It's harder to do. I was like, we're going to do a shower scene, right? And then Mark's like, and then to find a shower. Anyway, you're going to have a shower scene at some point, or a bathtub scene.
Spoiler alert.
You really got to get me into yoga now.
Yeah.
If we're going to do that.
Now we really got to stretch.
But is it a bridal shower?
There's going to be a shower scene.
Yeah.
I thought that was a joke.
Me too. I lied to a few journalists today. I said that was a joke. Sorry.
Me too. Sorry.
But Craig, aside from the logistical nightmares of producing a shower, are there going to be any obstacles between them, like last season, or is it going to be kind of smooth as sailing?
Not a lot of things between people in a shower. Maybe one or two.
Thank you.
Obviously, something's going to happen, but there'll be happiness for a little while, and then something's going to happen, but it's not going to happen. I don't think anyone's going to see it coming. No. Yeah. No, you're gonna. Well, you're. It's cool. Who cares? It's going to happen.
But something's going to happen in the first episode that nobody sees coming.
Oh, you're going to love that.
Oh.
Yeah. It's going to be good.
All this teasing.
No
All this
What can I
smile,
say?
it's
It's
cool.
like-
Sorry, I had a moment.
Yeah.
It's an awe moment.
Like, oh.
Well, since we're at Comic-Con, I don't think that a moment of silence is appropriate, but I think that we should have a round of applause for Xander Berkeley.
Percy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because Percy was such a strong and defining presence in the first 2 seasons, and he'll be sorely missed. So, was there any trepidation you had about killing him? Because he's such a...
Because he's such a great actor, and he played the part so well, and that's basically factored into the decision, is that we didn't want to ever have diminishing returns. We didn't ever want to have Percy. We wanted to have Percy go on top. And I think he was sort of, Percy to the bitter end. And so that was good. That was good. He can still come back in a flashback.
Yeah, flashbacks.
Yeah.
That's good. Because Percy was always kind of 10 steps ahead, but in many ways I felt like Amanda was sometimes the bigger threat, that you didn't ever really know what she was planning, and she has kind of this emotional, visceral connection to both Nikita and Alex now. So can you talk a little bit about your experience playing, especially with Alex and Nikita, those scenes?
Well, I think what's will be interesting in the third season is obviously we saw the last time we saw Amanda, she was going to a darker place in her life, and Nikita was getting to a lighter, much healthier place, obviously. And I think she's going to be operating on just betrayal. Obviously, we saw the relationship between Nikita and Amanda essentially was probably the closest thing that Amanda ever had to a loving mother and daughter relationship, and then ultimately we saw that they felt truly betrayed by each other. And then, of course, Alex was somewhat that substitute for that. And then, of course, Percy betrayed her by not keeping her as that partner. I think she thought they were going, to be this power couple, and Percy went off on his own. But then I think she also might be now kind of operating on the idea that Nikita ultimately killed Percy, but he was my man to kill. You know what I mean? But so it'll be interesting to see. We peeled away the layers a lot with her last season, and she, we really saw that she had some emotion and she had some humanity, and she was empathetic to Alex and Nikita in so many ways. But this year, I don't think she's going to be able to actually have that much empathy. You bitch.
Lindsay, Maggie?
I mean, it's all, well, ultimately, the first season, Craig always said that Amanda will be very mysterious and enigmatic, and that's exactly the way she was. And the next season, we definitely explored her, but so I don't know what's in store yet.
New hairdo.
What?
New hair. There's going to be a new Amanda look.
Red hair.
A new look.
Yeah.
She's underground like Voldemort.
Yeah.
I'm going to be, building my army of sycophants.
There you go.
My flying monkeys.
Lindsay, Maggie, can you talk a little bit about, from a character standpoint, what you think makes Amanda such a powerful adversary for your characters in particular?
You want me to go, Meg?
Yeah, please, honey, you go first.
Oh, God. I just don't think that anyone gets to Alex more than Amanda, except for, the kind of the special bond that Nikita and Alex have as far as love and friendship and that family. But as far as like an enemy is concerned, there's some sort of strange hold that I think she has over Alex. And I don't know if it's like, I've toyed with the idea of like a madam from her past, life on the street and that kind of thing, and that she kind of has that essence. And I don't know, I've been trying to kind of figure out why there's that thing with her. But I think that this year, if I'm not mistaken, Craig, that she really starts to get to Alex in a different way, maybe, in a stronger way. I don't know,
Yeah.
maybe you can elaborate on that.
No, later on, maybe, yeah.
Okay.
She's like, don't box me in.
Anyway.
Moving on.
Way later on.
What was the question again?
What makes Amanda such a powerful adversary as far as Nikita's concerned?
Besides that bitch crazy.
Apart from that.
Apart from that, I love, personally, the relationship between Nikita and Amanda. And I think what's interesting is I think it's an actual vulnerable relationship for the two of them, which is weird in their world, in this world of sort of control and power. You've got these two people who, essentially, obviously are damaged, Amanda and Nikita. When they first met, Amanda was really the first, sort of after everything she'd been through and everything she'd lost, Amanda was the first woman around her, and Nikita, she had one, as we found out in season 2, she had one sort of older woman mentor who was, the epitome of light and kindness and all that. And then, but Amanda is a special kind of woman, and I actually think that Nikita, when she first met her, was in awe of Amanda, and sort of looked up to her as this person who had it all together and sort of manipulated her really in the worst way, in Nikita's mind, which is why it hurts her so much. And in Amanda's mind, if I'm wrong, tell me, that Nikita hurt her in the worst way by, leaving and sort of destroying what Amanda had built for her. And so we had that great episode that Chris did. What was it? 18? Mm-hmm. 18, where we actually finally got to see like two women who were really hurt and finally confronting each other, because you wouldn't have that with Percy. You wouldn't, like, a guy's not going to be like, you hurt me. But women were such emotional beings that all of a sudden they're face to face and it's like, you did this to me, and then it's like, no, you did this to me, and it became this very emotionally charged
it's the most
moment.
Vulnerable. I mean, it's the most real statement Amanda's ever said. You broke my heart.
Yeah,
and most people say, what heart? But, where is it?
Hiding.
But it's truly that's the crux of it for Amanda. It's the one who got away. It's the pain that eats at her, and Nikita is the ultimate. It was just to me it was just such a wonderful ending to an episode, that when I say I let her live, and it's like you could see the revenge, and she says, I let her live, Michael.
Yeah.
And that clearly is where it's going.
Well, you see the growth. You see Nikita go to a different place in terms of growth. Like, I don't have to want to hurt her. I don't have to bring her down in that way, which is empowering. And then you see Amanda just slip further down, and the rage just
That she
heightened.
couldn't do it.
And these two, parallel journeys that are just so different. And we're going to explore that a lot in season 3, which is like, yay! Yay, love you!
I love the fact that the show doesn't do filler episodes. It's always kind of a very breakneck pace. You don't tread your wheel and you don't faff around. So is that going to be something that continues on in season 3? Or I know I read something about you wanting to have more mission-based episodes.
It's going to be, in the beginning, it's definitely going to be more standalone, because they're going after all of these rogue agents from Division, that kind of Percy created. Mm-hmm. And each one is sort of a window into a different world. And Nikita and her team are going out and stopping them. And we've got some really great bad guys. And we kind of want people who haven't seen the show to be able to come in and watch it and totally get it and not have to follow, like, a really overarching, complicated thing right in the beginning. So.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's turn it over to you guys. Do we have someone? Yes. Hi.
Hi. My question's for Lindsay. Also, you have the most addictively pretty eyes I've ever seen in my life.
Oh my God, thank you. You're so sweet. Oh,
I
wow.
would marry you, but
What?
This is getting
I
better.
would marry you, but
Aww.
I know playing a spy, you have to be able to switch personas quickly. But how is it transitioning between such extremes, like being Alex, the badass, relentless spy, and to Alexandra Udinov, the Russian princess?
To be honest, it was really hard in the beginning because Alex started off as a recruit and being very recruit-like and very troubled and very young. When the second season came around and she became that kind of Alexandra self, it was really challenging in the beginning to kind of find it. I don't know. I think that it's just she's the same person, whether she's playing Alexandra or Alex or whichever one. She's still the same person, and that's kind of how I had to ground it, even though they're very different. Are you fanning yourself? Because you're making me nervous. What? Just let it go. Okay.
Question is from Melinda, and I was wondering how much does your character know about what's been going down at Division this last episode?
You mean since Percy died?
Well, like Percy's death and all of that.
I have no idea. But I would hope that I'd hope that we'd explore his passing, what effect that has on her. I mean, I'm hoping we'll explore that, but I don't know. I'm sure she has her ways. I would love to. Yes, I mean, obviously during the hiatus and before we get scripts, we start elaborating on all kinds of different things. We've been talking about what she could be doing for employment.
She works at a bar. She works at a bar.
We should also be clear. You're not going to see Amanda right away. She's not in the first episode. They talk about her.
Building up.
And the specter of her.
God knows
She's
what
there
she's
in
doing.
spirit. But her return is something that we kind of build up to.
Thank you so much. Amanda, you're my favorite villain, like, ever.
Thank you.
Hi, I just want to tell you guys I love this show so much. Me and my best friend watch it every single week when it comes out, like, on the dot. It's like
Life.
Nielsen boxes.
I just wanted to ask, so in the next season, since you guys have basically taken over Division and they've spent so much time trying to take out Nikita, are there going to be some characters in the recruiters that are going to be kind of dubious of her and probably try to like take her out?
Yeah.
That's cool.
She's sort of being backed up by the alpha teams now, which is weird for her because she's like killed half of them. Sorry.
It's always awkward. Hey
But yeah.
guys. Sorry about all the.
Yeah,
stuff I did to you.
I think mostly they look up to her, but obviously there's a few people who may have scores to settle. Yeah.
It's a really good question.
It's good.
Thank you. That's a good question.
This question is for Shane and Aaron. I'm wondering, like, since it's a drama, you guys obviously can't improv script. How much is like the Michael stare down and the Burkoff like little grin that he gets at Alex and stuff? You guys, and how much is script?
I think the Michael stare is patented Shane West. I don't think you can write that. I mean the goatee of intimidation is indeed belongs
Seriously
to
right
Shane.
now. Yeah. No, I think I think a lot of things happened, especially with Michael and Burkoff throughout season 1 and 2 of that just come with spending time, and certain things start to happen naturally. The writing's always been there. That's one of the best things about this show. And then when they catch that and certain things like that, then they don't sometimes literally be written in. But I think sometimes it starts off with whatever kind of natural reaction we might have with each other, whether it's sarcastic or not. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't make the cut. So, but it's fun, and you need to, you need to spend time with the character and with the people to see if that even works, and those connections just kind of unveil by themselves.
Yeah, I love the relationship between the two of them. It's so antagonistic, but at the same time, they're absolutely best buds.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
At least from Burkoff's perspective, they are anyway.
Not for mine. No, I'm just kidding. No.
You are my BFF, my friend.
LOL.
Bromance.
Hello, good to see you all. I'd like to know what the experience is like rehearsing for some of the scenes that involve combat, and what type of training you put into those certain scenes when you kick ass.
Revisits.
Ooh, yeah. Well, because we don't have time on TV the way we do in movies. Well, in movies you do pre-visuals as well of fights, but now that's mainly what the stunt people are there for, right? They rehearse it, they show it to us, they record it, and then we watch it and make tweaks from there. There's not a lot of rehearsal time because it's TV, which sucks. And and if it's someone like me who's working, every day sort of thing, there's no sort of, hey, let's rehearse tomorrow. So what I usually do is I just give up my lunchtime and stuff like that, and I do it on weekends.
I think though.
Oh.
I think that what we should say is that
Okay,
like
love you so
movies have pre-visits, but I haven't seen a lot of TV shows that do it.
Well, we started that last.
We
first
started
season.
it.
We
Maggie
started-
brought that in with the fight guy
Yeah.
who came in and so we cut little movies together of this stuff
Yeah.
beforehand and watched on like video.
Yeah, we had a guy. We had a guy before a real guy, and I was like, "Where's the previs?" He's like, "What?" I was like, "Where's my previs?" He's like, I don't do that." I was like, "Oh."
And the next guy came in, we had like music to them, and they were cut together. It was awesome.
Some of them we did like blood coming out. It's
Yeah.
fun.
Hello, guys. I'd like to congratulate you on making a really great show. I love the show. It's fantastic. You guys are great. And I'd just like to ask, I know Melinda plays a credible bad guy, or woman. But will there be any other main baddies introduced throughout the show, or will she be the primary? Thank you.
I think that she'll be the primary, but we've got some MFers. I mean, every week we got some really bad people, and we hope to cast them well. So,
I like MFers. That's good.
well, it says children under.
I know. I was just pointing to that. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, my question's for Maggie and Lindsay. I watched CW since I was little bitty, and my favorite dynamics have always been with like Buffy and Faith, girl-wise fighting. So is there going to be more of you two beating people down next season together?
First of all, could you be cuter? Beating people down together. Oh, that's a Kreger's question, right?
Yeah,
I mean, we
absolutely.
do well in the first.
Yeah. I love that you just said I've been watching the CW since I was little bitty.
Little bitty.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
That should be their new like thing. That's cool.
Watch us from when you're little bitty.
Yeah, they'll have double beatdowns or whatever you co-beatdowns.
Double team.
Thank you.
You ready?
So yes.
First off, I just wanted to say thank you, because what makes your show great is the focus on character development, and you just get attached to these characters. One thing that we've seen Nikita as Michael's and Alex's characters really grow. One thing I really appreciate about this season is, although it's never really focused on him, but I feel like he's a really key part of the team, is we get to see Aaron's character, Burkhoff, transition. So what can we expect to see about, his past or whatever during the third season?
We're talking about that. We're talking about, Burkhoff obviously had an illustrious hacking life before he was caught and pressed into service for Division. He's now back working for the Man, but there's other groups out there that, he used to sort of, be a part of, like Anonymous and stuff like that. I think some of that stuff can start to come back in.
Cool. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Hello. I think the show is one of the best on TV, by the way. You guys rock.
Thank you.
Maggie, Lindsay, do you guys have any previous martial art experience? Because you guys kick ass and you look great on TV, and I was just curious to know if you had martial arts experience or you learned that with the show, or...
I'm just old, and I've been doing it for 15 years now. So, but Lindsay, talk about yourself.
No, I didn't before the show, but Maggie was welcoming the first year when we did the pilot to kind of bring me into her world, and did a little bit of training with her before I went up to Toronto and kind of got a little bit of a taste of what was in store. Thank you, Maggie, for that. That was
You're
really
a hard worker,
helpful.
man. You just
I was a dancer growing up, so it's just kind of like learning choreography and.
She's so flexible, it's not even funny. Don't start. She's not just pretty, guys. She's flexible too. It took me years to get flexible because I was a swimmer and a runner. They're not. I couldn't even touch my toes. But this one's like. I was like, so these are the stretches. She's like, oh yeah, I know. And she, like her torso's on the floor. I'm like, bitch. It only took me like 8 years to be able to do that. It was awesome. She's like, I'm sorry.
Thank you. You guys rock.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys. Just a quick comment. I watch the show religiously every week, but I dragged my husband here today, and I hope after today's panel that we'll be able to do that together watching. So maybe.
Come on, dude. Where is he? Where is he?
Right there.
We're watching you, man.
Please.
Come on.
And so my question is, I'm really interested in sort of the background that goes into making this show. In terms of language training, we already got to know a little bit about the martial arts. What about the gun shooting, the badass stuff? Is that something that you guys came in with? Is that something that you do it all yourselves, or is it all stunts? Basically, just want to know how much of it is really you and then just scripted for the moment.
We shoot all our own guns.
The language thing, like we've got coaches for a different coach for every language, right? You guys work on that.
The coaches are like a Banatanat.
Can we hear
We've
something
got
in
every coach
Russian?
of every culture, every language.
Our Russian teacher is the most incredible. She teaches me she's amazing, right?
She's unbelievable.
She's unbelievable. She actually was in an episode. She played the piano teacher.
Oh, yeah, that's
she's
who
so
the-
pretty
yeah,
that
she's
when
the
she's
piano
so
teacher.
beautiful
all the
that she
writers
had
try to
to
put Russian in their episodes so she can be on set.
She's so hot.
She's the best.
Because she's so attractive.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Thank you.
First of
Side
all,
note.
welcome to San Diego, and I hope you get better weather than just what we had here today. My question is about foreign language. So many of you have to memorize lines in a foreign language. How easy is that to do, and do any of you speak any of those languages that you're speaking in the show?
Well, that's what we were just saying. Like we don't really. You guys don't. Like we have these experts, and one of them is Russian and hot.
One of them is Russian. No, both Maggie and I and Shane, I feel like everyone, we like work on our lunch break to learn these because it's like, they change and they just, right?
It's hard. It's hard.
Learning
It's just
another
really
language
hard.
is really, really weird and hard.
Yeah, there's a lot in this first episode. The first episode takes place in Hong Kong, and there's a bunch of Cantonese in it, and there's, so. Oh, Michael's going to be speaking that, yeah.
Oh,
Michael's
suffrage.
speaking
So
Cantonese.
hard.
It's going to be good.
So hard.
I'm not excited about that one.
It's one line.
I should be, in fact, learning that right now.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Hi, I just want to say congratulations on season 3, first and foremost. I don't know if my question is more directed toward Maggie or Craig, but I just want to say that the Nikita and Carla scenes were really touching, and it seems like they wanted to gear Nikita toward a natural role of leading division. How do you plan on balancing that with Nikita's natural aversion to it?
We don't really balance it. That's what Nikita's trying to do, and it's difficult. It doesn't really work out, for her because she's used to fighting the man, and now she's kind of like working for the man, and she's sort of like, something's wrong.
Pretty
That's
soon.
what- yeah, pretty soon.
Pretty soon.
When you're shooting on set, do you ever feel like you're actually like a government agent in a ball with a hidden gun?
What do you mean? Always.
All the time.
I do all the time. I know Dylan Casey is, for sure.
Yes. Sean Pierce
he's-
thinks he's Sean Pierce 24/7.
Yes, for sure. He's not here to defend himself, so might as well do that. Where are you going?
Which is
She's
why we're
running
talking
away.
shit about it.
Thank you.
Guys, I really hope you get some Emmy consideration for this past season because it was amazing, especially Wrath. My wife and I watch the show religiously, which is great because she writes for Once Upon a Time, and so you get writers that love your show a lot. And one of our favorite villains of the past couple of seasons has been Rob Stewart's character, Roan. Because he's like this awesome, like Boba Fett type, where he doesn't need to speak at all. He can just look at a speakerphone and know Nikita's somewhere,
Yes.
Is there a chance that Amanda will get her own version of Roan now?
Ah, that's good. No, yeah, absolutely.
He's like, we're doing that.
She will now. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be, we're talking about it. We don't know what to call her, but we're going to have a female Roan.
And I'm sure she'll be hot. great.
Hi. First off, y'all ladies are crazy gorgeous in person, I gotta say. I'm just speaking for everybody here. But yeah, my question is to Maggie. Being one of the only Asian leads on TV, for real. I'm wondering, like, what do you think is the future of like Asian actors in Hollywood, and yeah, just basically that. Your thoughts
I mean,
on
that's the thing, right? It's sort of like it's got to happen at some point. And the fact that it hadn't until we did this show, to me, was like monkey bananas. I couldn't actually process the fact that. Do you know how I learned that this was the first Asian American lead? I read it in the Hollywood Reporter. Because to me, I didn't know that that hadn't happened. I know that there have been amazing Asians on television, but they were never leads. And I just, it was that weird feeling of excited and also kind of mortified that Asian Americans hadn't had that vehicle yet. And what makes me happier about this whole thing is that Nikita wasn't an Asian role. It wasn't like, we're doing a series on Taiwan, Maggie, because that's not really a feat, right? That's sort of like, you know, they would have lined me up for that. So this was just a character, and Warner Brothers at the time was saying, you know, we were just looking for the right actress. We weren't saying like, you know, she had to be red or blue or yellow or, you know, green. She turned out to be yellow. Or because I'm mixed, my friends call me off-white. But the best thing about this opportunity is that it opens doors for people after me, and I think that's the biggest compliment with this.
Last question, guys. Make it count.
Yeah, just to follow that, I want to say me and my cousin, we watch your show because we wanted to support our fellow Asian, you know, so thanks for just being awesome.
Call and tell all your Asian friends that, and all their cousins.
No
problem.
And my question is, are we going to get a backstory on Amanda, especially with Percy being dead and everything? Would that work?
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to get her backstory finally.
Okay, guys, that's a wrap. Sorry. I know, sucks. But remember that Nikita Season 3 premieres on the CW on October 19th at 9 p.m. And,
when I want to say one thing. You guys, I just want to say one thing about the fans of this show and how freaking appreciative we are. I got stuck on a flight in Houston trying to get here, and my flight got canceled, and I was on standby. Anyway, I almost didn't make it here. So what's that? It sucks. You don't even. I'm lined up with 30 people trying to get on this plane, and they call my name, and I was so excited. Anyway, it's because I get on, and I'm jammed in between, you know, two dudes. That was the last seat on the plane. And I get in, and I sit down, and this my friend comes over to me and says, hey, there's a girl back here who said that you can switch seats with her so that you can sit with me. And I was like, oh my God, wait, where's she? Oh my God, ah! So wait. Do you understand what she did? So listen, so I'm like, she had an aisle. Do you know what an aisle is on a small plane? She had a friggin' aisle. She jammed herself in between two dudes where I was supposed to be to give me an aisle. And then, as if that wasn't enough, wait for it, she says to me, I saw you waiting for the plane, and I didn't know if you would get on, and if you didn't, I was gonna get off the plane and give you my seat so you could make it to Comic-Con.
What's that? Guys, that's a wrap.
I want to give her more than my name card. I want to give her like the biggest hug ever. You are class and so kind, and I just thank you so much.